The giant stepped forward again. His armor clanged like thunder. The ground shook beneath his feet as he roared across the valley. "Send me a man to fight." For 40 days, the army of Israel had listened to that challenge. And for 40 days, no one stepped forward. Not the strongest soldier. Not the bravest warrior. Not even the king. But on that day, a shepherd boy arrived with nothing but bread, cheese, and faith. And before the sun set, a giant would fall. The armies of Israel stood frozen on one hill. Across from them stood the army of the Philistines. Between them was a wide valley of dust and silence. Then suddenly, boom, a massive figure walked down from the Philistine camp. It was Goliath, over 9 feet tall, covered in bronze armor. His spear looked like a weaver's beam. His voice echoed through the valley. "Why do you come out to battle?" he shouted. "Choose a man, and let him fight me. If he kills me, we will serve you. But if I kill him, you will serve us." The soldiers of Israel trembled. Even King Saul felt fear grip his heart. No one moved. Not one man. Miles away, in the quiet hills of Bethlehem, a young shepherd cared for his father's sheep. His name was David. He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't even old enough to join the army. But one morning, his father said, "Take this food to your brothers at the battlefield." So David packed bread, cheese, and grain, and ran toward the valley. When he arrived, soldiers were rushing back from the front lines. "Did you see him? The giant is back." David frowned. "What giant?" Right on cue, Goliath stepped forward again. The giant laughed as he looked at Israel's army. "Is there no one brave enough to fight me?" David's eyes burned with anger. "Who is this man," he asked, "that he should defy the army of the living God?" The soldiers stared at him. "You're just a boy," one said. "You didn't see what he did yesterday." But David refused to back down. Finally, word reached King Saul, and the shepherd boy was brought before the king. King Saul looked at him in disbelief. "You cannot fight this Philistine," Saul said. "You are only a youth, and he has been a warrior since his youth." But David answered calmly, "When I guarded my father's sheep, a lion came, a bear came, and when they tried to steal a lamb, I struck them down." He looked the king straight in the eyes. "The God who saved me from the lion and the bear will save me from this giant." The room fell silent. Finally, Saul sighed. "Go," he said, "and may God be with you." David walked toward the valley. No armor, no sword, just a sling and 5 smooth stones. Goliath saw him and burst out laughing. "Am I a dog?" the giant roared. "You send a boy to fight me?" The Philistine cursed him. But David shouted back, "You come to me with sword and spear, but I come to you in the name of the Lord." Then suddenly, David ran forward. He placed a stone in his sling, spun it once, twice, 3 times. Whack! The stone flew through the air, and struck the giant directly in the forehead. For a moment, everything went silent. Then the massive warrior swayed, and crashed to the ground. The giant was defeated. The valley exploded with shouting. The Philistine army ran. Israel had won. And the shepherd boy who trusted God would one day become the greatest king Israel had ever known. That boy was David. And his story reminds us of something powerful. Sometimes the biggest victories start with the smallest warriors. If you enjoy powerful Bible stories like this, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment faith below so you don't miss the next story.